Andrew is 59 years old. So he's my 59-year-old, even though he's not, but that's what my scenario calls for. So, all right, we're going to get started. Hi, Andrew. Welcome.
Hi.
What brings you in this week? How has your week been?
It's been really tough, having to move from Dallas or from San Antonio to Dallas. It's been really tough.
Really tough? Would you like to explain further what makes it so tough?
Yeah, well, I don't like change for one, but along with the change, I don't think I'm being treated fairly at my job.
So the change you're referring to, job change?
Yeah, job change.
Why don't you tell me about that? How is that?
Well, I kept my seniority, and I think a lot of the workers kind of resent me for it. They're not happy about it because that means I get some privileges over them. But, I just have to do what I have to do. So.
And how do you know that they're not happy about it? Has there been any situations or things come up?
They've tried to get off days before me and basically undercut me in things to try and make my life a little bit harder.
And how are you able to deal with that? What do you do? Is there anything specific you do, or how has that affected you?
I haven't thought of anything specific to do, but I do go home and talk to my wife about it, so that helps.
That helps. And how's your family? How are things at home with these changes?
Well, also it's a lot tougher because my boys are also going to college, and it makes me think more about what's actually happening, and it's just added on stress, really. They support me, and I love them, and they love me, but it's still hard with all the change.
And tell me more about your family.
What specifically?
Tell me about the support that your wife gives you.
Well, she's extremely encouraging because she keeps me also grounded in my faith with God. So she really helps me wake up each day and have it be less stressful than it actually should be.
So what problems do you foresee? What are the things that are depressing you? Since I've noticed on your form here that you feel depressed, can you explain your depression?
Well, it makes me wonder because I've been working for about 26 years, and it makes me think that I'm going to have to start all over again and just keep working for the rest of my life because I plan to retire soon, but it feels like I have to change jobs, while at the same time I can't because my kids are going to college and I can't lose my seniority and all the benefits I've worked for.
So you were looking forward to retirement. Tell me more about your retirement plans. What did you want to do? Or what does that encompass?
Well, I wanted to retire in about 5 years.
About 5 years, and how has this change affected that?
Well, because one, the move has affected everything my family's doing right now because we're changing schools, and one of the cars broke down, so there's also a lot of bills being added on because I'm still paying for the house in San Antonio, while at the same time I'm having to pay for the house here in Dallas. So, and that's halted it because I'm making more payments and I'm not making as much money as I plan to for retirement.
So you feel that there's more burden now with the move financially, and you feel now the need to work more?
Yes, a lot more, because there's more to support.
More to support. And how much have you been working lately?
Well, an average day would be about 12 hours, 12 to 14 hours.
So how does that make you feel?
Exhausted by the end of the day. I don't want to do anything when I get home, but maybe watch TV and sleep afterwards.
Do you find that interfering with your relationship with your kids? Like the time you get to spend with them?
Not too much, but I do wish I could spend more time with them.
Well, spending time with them, how does that affect you with the retirement? what things were you looking forward to in retirement?
I was looking forward to having a day off and being able to help my wife and my kids as well, because they're in a time where a present father would be very helpful, and I feel like the stuff that I'm having to do, having to work as hard as I do, it's bringing me away from that a lot.
So what you're saying is that taking away from your time from your family and having to work more, and you see your responsibilities building as opposed to having a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
With retirement. So that's brought you down.
Yes.
And so what kind of things have you done to try to cope? Have you tried anything?
Well, mainly I pray. Praying helps a lot. There aren't that many stress relievers right now, but praying does help.
Right, and you talk to your wife, like you said. Is there anything else you try to do? Do you try to exercise? How has your exercise been? Have you?
I used to exercise a lot, but now that I work a lot more than I used to, it's gone down. I do try to play basketball with my boys every so often, but it's not as often as I should.
How do you think it's been more or less than what you have in the past?
Less, way less.
Way less. So what you're telling me, let me know if this is correct, that you're feeling kind of depressed because you can't spend time with your children, you can't spend as much time with your wife, you are working more hours, you're not, it sounds like you used to exercise, correct?
Yes.
And so now you don't, was that a stress relief for you?
Yeah, it was, because I used to jog and run. I used to go for several miles and even do some events and run with other people, but I have no time for that anymore.
You have no time. So at your age, you're 59, you feel like you're coming to, how do you feel? Like it's like things
I feel
are,
like things should be clearing up for me right now, and I should be up for retirement, but it feels like things are just starting again.
starting again. And what about, you said you transferred?
Yeah, I transferred from San Antonio.
Have you looked at other job possibilities? How does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel even more worried about taking the risk of trying to find a new job, because at my age, I don't think a lot of people would want to hire me. Because I'm about 59 right now, but I don't think a lot of people want a 59-year-old or someone who's going to retire in 5 years.
So you're worried that your age is restricting you,
Yes.
and you have some, have you tried going, is that something you want to do, is try to go into the job force, or are you too?
I think it's more about my back being against the wall, because if I could stay at my job that I have currently, I would, but it doesn't look like things are pointing in that direction.
Well, maybe what we could do is look at some ways to improve your work situation. What kind of things do you think would help there? How do you get along with your bosses?
I think my bosses, I get along with them fine because they're always pleased with my work. I show up every single day. I don't miss days. But it's more my coworkers that kind of resent me, because I have a lot of seniority and a lot of benefits and things that basically they don't have. So my bosses are okay with me, but I think it's more my coworkers.
And how does that relationship that you have here at your current job different from the one that you used to have?
Like, even though my bosses, they like me here at my new job, I think there's a lot less trust because I'm the new guy. And at my earlier job in San Antonio, they knew everything that I was capable of. So they trusted pretty much everything I said, but it's a lot different here.
So that's part of your change, that having to establish that trust when you've already established it before.
Yeah.
That's been difficult for you.
Yes.
It's been difficult. And so since that's been difficult for you, how does that affect your work? Are you still do you like going to work? Do you?
I used to, because I used to love my job, but it's that love I used to have for it is diminishing. it feels like it's not there anymore. There are still points in my job where I do enjoy it, where I do really enjoy exactly what I'm doing, but then it seems like the moments where I don't enjoy my job are more frequent in my life right now.
So you feel like the times that you are not enjoying your job are overcoming the times that you do. And how does that make you feel?
More depressed lately.
More depressed lately? And does your depression, does that affect your relationship with your boys at all?
I don't think so, because they still try their best to spend time with me, and they always watch TV with me when I get home, and it does restrict me from going to stuff they do, like maybe basketball events or practices, but I think I still spend a good amount of time with them.
So you're worried about, so the change has really hurt you, and you feel like you're stuck.
Yeah, I'm
That's
stuck.
how you feel.
There's no way
And so how would you rate your level of depression?
I'd say about a 4 right now, but it seems like it's increasing.
It's increasing. So is that why you've come today? Why do you feel like you've come today exactly?
Because it feels like something that's been bottled up for a long time, and I needed to let it out.
You need to let it out. Are you afraid it's going to get worse, your depression?
Have
you had depression before?
Not often, not for a very long time, because so far I've been happy with my family and my job, but as soon as things change, that's when it starts to really get in your head.
So this is a new feeling for you.
Yes.
And what about your family history? Has there been family history of depression that you know of?
If there were, I wouldn't have known.
You don't know, you don't. So this is a real concern. You're afraid that you're starting at a 4, you're afraid to go further.
Yes.
Well, it's a good thing that you've come in. We're going to work through your depression and see what we can do to talk about whatever's going on with you. I appreciate you coming in, and we'll work out a plan. Does that sound good to you?
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.